Howdy, everyone. It's me once again, the one and only Kid Ordan. And today, as you can see, again another superhero movie. Yay! Oh boy. Been talking about superhero stuff for the past bunch of videos. Holy shit. Got superhero stuff up the ass. I mean, holy hell. Anyway, it's another DC movie again. Might as well, I guess. And it's Superman Returns. And yes, again, this is the theatrical version, of course. I know there's been many different editions that was released for this film over the years, but I'm just gonna refer to the one I watched in theaters, folks. So okay, I just thought, well, might as well. This was what the last Superman film up until like what Man of Steel. So it was a good while up until that, I guess. So for now, this is gonna be the last Superman film I'll be talking about, I guess you can say, until like later, I guess, for whatever reason. So yeah, this film ignores part three, which is fine because it wasn't particularly good. It has some nice ideas, but still, and yeah, ignores part four as well, which was also garbage. Again, some good ideas, yes, but it also ignores the theatrical version as well, which was bad. Well, at least the director's cut was better, I guess. So yeah, this one, Superman, yeah, Returns basically acts like a direct sequel, yes, to the other Superman films, of course. So yeah, it does pay attention to part two. Just connect to that one mainly, I guess you would say. And by the way, there was actually a comic book that was tied into the movie. So they were trying to do like their own kind of expanded universe, I guess. Trying to expand upon on some ideas, on some aspects of this character anyway, before Zack Snyder ever came in. So um there's that, I suppose. So okay, by the way, I never read this. I'm just letting you know for those who have no idea really, like at all. But okay, sure, there you go. There you go, I guess. And I guess speaking of, multimedia kind of a thing and whatnot. So it was also a video game as well, based off of this idea of the movie as well. So and no, I didn't play it either really. Just throwing it out there before. Yeah, like I mentioned quite a few times, I was never big on. Yeah, from what I heard, it was actually pretty decent, according to some people. But yeah, I was never big on superhero comic book stuff anyway. But yet here I am making a bunch of videos about this kinds of stuff. What the hell? So yeah, Superman Returns. I want to talk about this film. Just might as well talk about the other entries of this series. So at least within this continuity anyway. So there you go. Whatever, I guess, whatever the case is, I just have to talk about it. So anyway, okay, enough with that chance, I suppose. So like always, I do have to talk about, the actual plot of the movie. So let's get into it, shall we? So basically what happens here, like it's like several years after Superman 2, so taking place in the same time frame, of course. So yeah, basically Superman here returns to Earth after he spent quite some time in outer space examining his what he thought to be Krypton, outer space and whatnot. But the thing is that once he gets back, he realized that things have changed while he was gone. He must once again prove to himself that he is important to the world. He must adapt. So, but obviously that's easier said than done. So he had this absence, of course, for quite some time from Earth. And yes, of course, people noticed, especially Lois Lane. Yeah, Lois Lane doesn't have a kid in this one because the both of them had, sex in the Superman 2, so of course it's going to happen. Yeah, this not going to be exactly great because of the fact that Clark Kent and Lois Lane. The thing is that I mean she's right when she's telling that people move on, which that does make sense considering the fact that yeah, in a relationship communication is key. So yeah, they have a kid that to take care of. So he was basically a parent that was not around for like 5 years for the kid, 5 6 years, something like that. Yeah, which does seem if I had to criticize this movie for anything, it would be that it's not being there for the child does seem like something that Superman wouldn't do, like at all. It seems like kind of contradictory. But other than that, yeah, this movie does uh, do its best to capture the overall feeling of the original two Superman films. Yeah, it does that really well actually, and yeah, but except it's like more of a modern day version, just more of the budget. Really, it's basically like the first two movies, but more of a budget. I guess you can say so. There's that. So yeah, the thing is that they wanted to do a sequel for this movie, which unfortunately never came to being. I guess. Yeah, the reviews for this movie weren't exactly fantastic by any means. Yeah, and I guess it did okay, I guess, but yeah, it really didn't do all that great in terms of reviews, of course. And yeah, even though the film did perform below office expectations, and not only did it okay, I guess did okay at the time, but yeah, it was the second highest grossing DC Comics film ever made at the time. I guess you would say after the original 1989 Batman, I believe, if I remember correctly. So yeah, just kind of a shame that this never was made into an actual franchise. So Superman Returns Part Two. Yeah, they want to do a Part Two of this movie. I don't know. I don't know how many exactly they want to do. Maybe three, four. I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. But there was definitely going to be a Part Two. So I'm guessing it depends on how the second one does. I suppose. I guess because the thing is that when it comes to making movies, it's definitely it's a gamble. It's a game of chance, so to speak, when it comes to making any kind of movie, actually. So I guess this didn't meet the expectations for a lot of people. I guess the viewers, I suppose. And yes, I actually saw this when it was originally released, folks. And my feelings didn't really change. Really, I'm like, okay, I thought it was pretty decent, I suppose, and whatnot. I thought it was trying to capture the same spirit of the two films. Yeah, my that's like another critique of mine. It kind of borrows too much from the original Superman movies. It's kind of like nostalgia. It's like this entire movie is just nostalgia. It's just built on nostalgia. It's just trying to making it some sort of excuse to have this kinds of stuff in there, I guess. And that's it, really. And yeah, it kind of felt like the movie's stuck in the past because of that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you can't play homage to the original films. Sure, go ahead, do that. But you have to simultaneously do your own thing, which I guess it tries to do, kind of. Yeah, but this one it was more of a slower burn, really. It was not exactly the most action packed superhero movie out. This is not one of those type of movies you see an action sequence like every several minutes. That's not the case here. It's more about drama. If anything, that's how it came off to me anyway. A drama filled superhero movie with a budget, like I said earlier. Again, like I just said just a moment ago, that's at least that's how I'm interpreting this movie as anyway. So ultimately, yes, it was okay. That was all right, I suppose. It's nothing spectacular, I guess, but it was decent. I did like how the film does go into the whole idea that okay, why does the world need Superman? This and that and all that jazz. That was actually a nice little touch, really. I'll give it that. So that's something that the other films didn't bring up upon like whatsoever and whatnot. So that's cool. I don't really like that. And yeah, of course, the whole thing with the relationship, like I was saying a moment ago. Yes, communication is key. I kind of wish, yeah, it's brought up. Yes, being in a relationship, you need to talk to each other as often as you could. Don't come off needy, sure, but with a relationship, you do need to have conversation with your partner, good, give good vibes and whatnot. But yeah, the thing that's kind of the thing, though. The film does bring it up, but it doesn't do much with that kind of theme here. which just wasn't really explored in the other films either. Not really. So this one takes it a bit further, kind of, I guess you can say, but in like the most half-assed kind of way, unfortunately. So I kind of wish they could have dug into that kind of idea, really, if you ask me. But whatever, I guess. So yeah, what I'm saying is that there was a bit of a waste of potential that could have really made this film better than what it was. Again, I don't think this is a bad movie. It's actually well constructed in a lot of ways. The pacing is fine, even yes, even though it's much slower than compared to a lot of the other superhero stuff. Yes, it didn't bother me really, like at all. I didn't mind. I guess you can say he was trying to get into the character of Superman, like a character study kind of a thing. Again, at least that's how I took it anyway. When it comes to this movie, that's at least how I interpret the movie. So there's some good ideas in here. Really, there's plenty of good ideas in here. I just feel like it could have expanded upon them a bit more. With that being said, does this film deserve all the hate that that it has been receiving over the years? No, absolutely not. I do believe that this film does deserve a second chance. Like because, like I was saying, I really wish that there could have been a series out of this one because the actor he really does fit the part of Superman and Clark Kent. He really plays a part rather well for both characters. He does actually a fantastic job, if you ask me. I really do think so. If I could say so myself. His Clark Kent isn't too bad, of course, and I know Clark Kent is supposed to be kind of this goofball kind of a guy, but I guess this is like his own take on this, I guess you can say. So there was that, I suppose. And but yeah, it's I know a lot of people like to trash on this film. I say it's a joke. Oh, it's one of the worst films ever. It's the shittiest superhero of all time. Well, it's not that bad. It's nowhere near that bad of a movie. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. But is it the worst ever? Like a lot of people were saying, no, that's just hypo. I mean hyperbolic. So what I'm saying is that I honestly did enjoy this film, despite its flaws, way more than I ever did with movies like let me see here, compared to like Man of Steel, which was a total bore. That was really boring. Ugh. And then as for Batman v Superman, rather the theatrical version of the Ultimate Cut, it was a huge clusterfuck of a mess of a story. Suicide Squad, it was not that great either. So no, I liked it. No, I didn't like it really. Yeah, like I was saying, Superman 3 was terrible. Again, some good ideas, yes. Yeah, a lot of these movies have some good ideas. That's what I'm saying. All of these movies have some good ideas, including the shitty movies have some decent ideas. Liked it more than the theatrical shitfest of Supergirl. And with that in its defense, at least the director's cut was better. I was gonna say at least the director's cut was definitely way better. So there's that. So yeah, ultimately, folks, I can say that I didn't hate this movie. No, at least nowhere near as much as some of the others, I guess. And but yeah, you can tell they were trying to do something here, I guess. And there was a just kind of reminds me of a lot of the other superhero movies from DC. And of course, there seems to be like a pattern here, concerning the fact it makes me wonder what could have been. Yeah, it really makes me wonder what could have been because, like a lot of the others movies I mentioned, there's lots of behind the scenes conflict, behind the scenes drama. Like they couldn't agree on a lot of stuff. Not really. There's like so many unused ideas, potential plot lines, and whatnot. So it seems like a wasted opportunity here.
Is the role that got away from you when you were going to be cast as Superman? I think it's when J.J. Abrams was in charge of the Superman franchise. Someone had approached you about being Superman, and then suddenly it was taken away from you. Is that correct?
Everyone in town was reading for Superman. Like they again, we're testing. I think maybe 6 or 7 guys in 2002, three.
Who are the guys? Who was being tested?
Paul
Do you
Walker.
remember?
I remember Paul Walker was before me. They were like the usual suspects. So of course, it's a life-changing, amazing opportunity. But I had to reconcile with
Yeah, it makes you think again what could have been. And also, speaking of being stuck in the past, I do believe a lot of the DC fans, those who shit on this movie, those who attack this movie, yeah, I feel like they only want to recognize the older Superman films, at least the first two anyway, and nothing more. And it's like that's about it. They don't want to recognize the other Superman movies that came afterwards. It's just the first two Superman films, and that's it. They only care for those and then ignore everything else. Oh boy. So at least to some extent, I want to just look at the fan base and be like, "What the hell, man? Come on." Just I don't get it. It's like the fan base don't want to support Superman, but they only want to support. I guess kind of do. They would kind of would because maybe a specific version of Superman. I guess I don't know. None of this makes any sense to me. It's just like a lot of fans are just they just want to keep the old Superman, the first two movies, like we're saying, and that's it, and nothing more. That's it. And I just come on. So yeah, folks. Ultimately, like I said, it was okay. It was decent enough, I guess you can say. It has moments. It has definitely has moments. Anyway, I will give this film an overall rating of a 6.4 out of 10. It's a 6.4 out of 10 for me, folks. And as always, thanks for watching and take care. Until next time, see ya. Oh yeah, later. Oh yeah.